If you're like me, you take a ton of photographs. So what do you do with all those extra pictures that you have sitting around in your library? I have an idea. Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining me. I'm so glad you could make it. So today I'm going to talk about photography, some photography stuff. And specifically, what do you do with all those extra pictures that you take that aren't of family and friends? When you go on vacation and you end up coming back with 800 pictures a day, what do you do with all of those? Maybe it's that one thing you took a picture of that just struck you as interesting. You can do what I did for years and just let them sit in your library and take up space. Or you can consider stock photography. The stock photography comes in two flavors. One is managed and one is micro stock. To get into a managed portfolio, you generally have to have a recommendation from most of the companies out there. And basically what they will do is go out and shop your photos and they manage your portfolio. Now this is the one that pays higher, but it's also a much higher bar to get into. Stock photography, on the other hand, I can't say it's easy, but it's easier. And I'm going to give you the 3 places that I've found so far that I like the best. Now the nice thing about stock photography is it gives you some place to put all those pictures that would otherwise just be sitting in your library. It gives you a chance to make some money off of them. Not a lot, but some. One of the problems with micro stocks is that there's so much competition. Each of these companies has millions of photos to choose from. And essentially what happens is somebody will go onto their site looking for a specific picture. Maybe I want to find a picture of benches. So instead of going out and taking my own picture of a bench or finding the one that specifically that I want, I'll go onto the stock site, do a search, and then I'll pay them a fee to use that picture. And it usually varies as to whether or not I'm a member of that site or what I'm going to do with the picture. If I'm going to have a huge national campaign, I'm going to end up paying more for that picture. If I'm just going to make flyers or put it on a website, I'll end up paying less. Now the photographer will make a cut of that. It's usually a pretty small cut, but they add up. So the first site I want to bring up, which is probably one of the first ones I signed on to, is ShutterStock. ShutterStock has millions of pictures, so the competition is high. But I've made a little bit of money off of pictures that would otherwise be making nothing. Another thing that all of these stock sites has done is help me get better as a photographer. And it's helped me start paying attention to things like, is there a brand name in the picture? Are there people in the picture? Because all of these sites that I've seen so far require model releases if there are people in the picture. They require property releases if it's a recognizable property. There's some rules. So you kind of learn to work around those a little bit or work within those rules and get some great pictures out there. But they're also very particular about noise and composition and some of the more technical aspects of the photo. They all want really good photography. So that has helped me up my game quite a bit. A couple of the things that I've found that have done really well are location shots. I've sold a lot of photos of Charleston and the area. One of the things you start to do is think about how people are going to use your photographs. Another site that I've dealt with quite a bit is Dreamstime, and they also have a great catalog. And on Dreamstime, they will absolutely pay you more for pictures that are exclusive to them. So if I post a picture of a bridge to them and to nobody else, that's an exclusive picture, and I get paid a little bit more for it. The one that I've recently started doing is Adobe Stock. The really nice thing I like about Adobe Stock is they've got the plugin to be able to post straight from Lightroom right to Adobe Stock. Now you go through and you set up keywords and titles and things that will help people search for your photos. And this is true of all the services. They all kind of operate the same way. The requirements may be a little bit different as far as how many keywords. Are there a certain number of words that are required in the title? Almost all of them require good quality, high resolution photos. And basically what happens is you upload your photo, put in your keywords, put in your title, and you submit it. And within a day or 2, maybe 3, they'll review it and either accept it into the catalog or they'll reject it and tell you why. Some of the most common rejections that I get are things like trademark violations. If you take a picture of an object that looks specifically like, let's just say it, if I take a picture of a Harley Davidson, even if it doesn't say Harley Davidson on it, it's distinctly a Harley Davidson. That's a trademark problem. Obviously, company names are a big issue. I recently submitted a beautiful picture of downtown Charleston and didn't even think about all the logos on the cars. So I had to go back through, edit those out, clean that up, and then resubmit it. But those logos are trademarks, company names, anything like that. People, if you take photos with people in it, most of the time you have to have a model release for these services. Occasionally you can do something like a silhouette, which is something that I do a lot, or just feet. Pictures where you can't pick out who that is. In those cases, you can usually get away without a model release. Noisy photographs, you want to keep your noise down to a minimum. If you crank up that exposure and sharpen it, you're going to introduce a lot of noise to the picture. When they blow this up, if you can see that noise, it's kind of a problem. So you want to minimize your noise. You really just want good technical photographs. And it's been great because it's helped me take better technical photographs. Intellectual property is another one. I have been guilty of submitting pictures without realizing that somebody else's work is in it. For example, I posted a picture of a Christmas tree and some ornaments because the holidays are coming up, and now is a good time to get those posted. I did not realize that inside one of the holiday decorations was a painting. Obviously, that's somebody else's painting. You can't use that commercially. So that got rejected, and that's fine. So to recap, ShutterStock, Dreamstime, Adobe Stock. Not in that order. I would say ShutterStock is probably the more popular one, which is good and bad. But they've worked out really well for me, and I've made the most money off of them so far. Now, I will warn you that this is not going to make you a fortune. You're not going to make bank off of this. As a matter of fact, the amount of time you put into it compared to the money you get back is kind of ridiculous. It almost makes it pointless. But what else would those pictures be doing if I didn't do something with them? So if I spend several hours and get $20 out of it, when I didn't have any other work on the plate, well, that's $20. So something to consider. I'll put the links down below for all three of those services. If you want to check them out, go ahead and click on them. Those are my referral links, so I get some sort of credit or something if you sign up. If you have any questions about how it works or what's involved or what it really takes, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will let you know as soon as I can if I know. Now, there are a lot of other stock companies out there, but these are the three I've really had some experience with. That I know two of the three I've actually made a little bit of money off of. A little bit of money is a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying? If you know of any others that have worked really well for you, let me know. I don't know it all. I don't even claim to, usually. Sometimes I do. You have to listen to me because I know it all. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I want you to go check out those sites if it's something you're interested in. I hope this helps you out, maybe helps you up your game a little bit, gives you something to shoot when you're not shooting something else, maybe make a few bucks on the side. My understanding, now I say it's not a lot of money, but I know somebody who submits a lot of pictures. We're talking thousands. He's got a huge portfolio, both in micro stock and a rather large one from what I gather in the managed stock. And he makes some decent money. I mean, not a living, but if you've got anywhere between $100 and $400 a month coming in off of stock photography that you don't have to put any more effort in once it's uploaded, that's a win. That's residual income. And that's really what you want. I'm not saying hang up your wedding shoot this weekend to go put up a bunch of stock photography, but if you've got free time this weekend and it's something that you're interested in and you want to put a little time, go ahead and look into it. It's a resource. Use it as you will. Thanks for joining me again. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to try and fit a few more photography videos in than I have been, like in the last year. So stay tuned. I will see you next time. Bye.